Time to kick off the Saratoga season with the Sanford. Trust the profits. It's the formula here. Going to be doing a full field rundown of the Sanford G3 that is going to be this Saturday at Saratoga. 175K stakes. They're only going 6 furlongs on dirt. This is for 2-year-olds, so we're looking at the 2024 crop of 2-year-olds. Potential Derby horses in here, it's unlikely. Fleet Alex ran in this race at one point, was a winner. You got a couple other horses sprinkled in there, but you look at the list of winners from past seasons, from past years. Not a whole lot to note here. Maybe a few sprinters in here since we are going 6 furlongs, but fun race nonetheless. If someone wants to prove me wrong, if there's a second place horse in here that did amazing, but didn't exactly hit the board with first place, feel free to tell me. Hit me up in the comments. I did not do an in-depth, exhaustive search of every horse that ran in this race for the past 10 years. But here's our field. Let's take a look. Let's get to know these horses, shall we? Starting with Mentee, probably the horse that you guys know best. Mentee, one win in one race. Common for a lot of these horses. We're looking at a lot of horses that broke their maiden first time out. This horse did it at Aqueduct, going 5 furlongs in that race and knocking out the track record. 56.97 was his 5 furlong time. Yow! Go ahead and watch that race again. I almost clipped it here for this video, but it's pretty easy to find. The big thing to note there, almost caught at the end. So broke the track record, almost caught. So you got to say something for Colloquial, the horse that caught him. Also almost broke the 5 furlong record there at Aqueduct. Trained by Todd Pletcher, John Velasquez, City of Light, the sire. A pretty impressive horse here. And probably going to be your morning line favorite, probably post time favorite as well, I got to imagine. Yeah, moving on. Mr. Squeaky Wheels. Mr. Squeaky Wheels, one win in one race. That race was a 30K maiden special, going 4.5 furlongs at Presqu'Île, beating Time for Restraint by 3.25 lengths in that one. A lot of these horses, 2-year-olds, we got one race to judge them on. Obviously, when you look at a horse like Mr. Squeaky Wheels, I would say distance is a factor as much. Would rather obviously see him go 5 or 5.5 furlongs than going to 6 furlongs, but we're still talking about a one-turn race here. But would rather see him run against stiffer competition. It's early. Difficult to really knock him for that, but 4.5 furlongs, had a nice win by 3.25 lengths in that race. So those are some positives for Mr. Squeaky Wheels. Baby Dukes. All right, hold on. That's right. A little Daisy Dukes action here for Baby Dukes. Winner of a 52K made special weight rate race, going 4.5 furlongs in that one at Parks, leading most of the way, winning by 4 lengths over We Miss Neil. Oh, we do miss Neil, don't we? Yeah, poor Neil. Robert Reed, Jose Lezcano comes from Maximus Mischief. Similar to the horse that we were just talking about, Mr. Squeaky Wheels. Baby Dukes, also some of the horses in this race facing stiffer competition, we would imagine, in their first or second races out there. There's a couple that have already been through listed stakes races as well. So that's going to be a little bit of a knock on Baby Dukes. Moving along, soon to be King. One win, 1/3 place in his 3 attempts. So 2 made special weight races, the last one being the one that he won, going 5.5 furlongs in that race at Aqueduct, 6 lengths off of the lead at the start of the stretch. Charge for a win, winning by a head over a fading classic time. So yeah, if if you can call a horse a deep closer in a 6 furlong race, or 5.5 furlong race, it's soon to be King. Am I right? Before that, 3rd place finish at the same Aqueduct on a 75K 5 furlong maiden special, 6 lengths back down the stretch in that one, but finished 3 lengths behind Phoebe in Wonderland, George Weaver, Eric Cancel, aka Cancel Culture as we like to call him, and King Friday is the sire here. So yeah, Not one for closers in a 6 furlong race. Soon to be king. Maybe there's some adjustments to be made here. It's usually not good practice, in my opinion, to be closing in a 6 furlong race because the sprinters they can handle 6 furlongs. The gunners, the horses that just get out there in front and go gate to wire, and we do have a couple who have proven to be able to do that here. So soon to be king would definitely need something to be set up his way, or have a really nice charge down the stretch. Moving on, we got three echoes coming to you from Steve Asmussen, Flavian Pratt, Echo Town the sire here. One win, one third place finish in 2 races so far. Third place finish at the Tremont Stakes in Saratoga. Stalking the pace early on, second place behind Touchy for most of the race. Both of them getting overcome by Studley Dee, losing by 2 1/4 lengths. There was some bumping early for Three Echoes, so that's something to note there. Didn't exactly get off to the best start. Studley Dee, though, still getting the win by 2 1/4 lengths there. Previous to that first race out, he won 120K maiden special, going 5 furlongs, staying 1 length off the pace, charging down the stretch for a 3/4 length win over Charlie Tulu. So three echoes. In a small race like this, we've got 8 or 9 horses. Steve Asmussen, Flavian Pratt. Just looking at the trainer jockey combo, always a bonus here. The fact that he ran 120K maiden, third place in a stakes race, definitely bodes well for three echoes. Studley Dee. Oh yeah, this is a fun horse to talk through here. Really like this horse. 2 wins in 2 races. Not going to be I don't think he's going to be coming out as a favorite at all. When you look at trainer, jockey, you look at Maryland, you think, okay, he's a bit of an outsider here. Even with the 2 wins and winning the Tremont Stakes, not going to come in as a total left field play here. But I still think he's a bit of an underdog when you talk about horses like Mentee, um, a previous horse that we just talked about here. Three Echoes, thank you very much. But let's talk through Studley Dee. What does he do? So he came to Saratoga and he won the Tremont. Bobbled at the break. Was 11 lengths back at the 3/8 mile mark. Charged down the stretch and ended up with a 1 3/4 victory over Touchy and Three Echoes in that one, as we just talked about. So coming from way back. I mean, when you talk about closers and 6 furlong races, as we just talked about, I mean, this is the ideal situation if you are a fan of closers. I'll talk about his maiden special weight win at Laurel Park, going 4.5 furlongs in that one. Again, way back, closing to win, 1.5 lengths down the stretch. Loves hugging that inner rail. Will use that to his advantage down the stretch. John Robb, Javier Perez. Nyquist is the sire. I mean, that is a super sire right there. Love having Nyquist as the sire. And I forget the name of the dam, something with a peach, but does come from Curlin. So you got like a whole Nyquist Curlin matchup here for Studley Dee, which is appealing and attractive here. So Studley Dee, an outsider, not going to be shocking the world here, but I think when you face him up against Mentee is going to be getting a lot of the action here, just based off of that one record-setting race. But Studley Dee, keep an eye on him. Wartex. Yeah, moving along, going to Wartex, 2 races, got a win in his first race. The last time out, however, Bashford Stakes at Churchill, going 6 furlongs in that one, never really showed anything. Had a rough start, did end up going 5 wide at the turn. Bit of an uphill battle for him there. No favors were done for Wartex in that race. And yeah, it's his biggest race to date. Didn't look super. Maiden special went into Aqueduct going gate to wire, 90K, maiden special, 5 furlongs in that one, winning by 2 lengths over my toll. Carlos Martin, Javier Castellano, and I forgot to include the sire. All apologies, guys. All apologies. We'll find out later, won't we? And let's end on Moplex. Moplex. I don't think he's going to come into this one as a favorite, but I do think that big win that he had in his maiden special, 5.5 furlongs, going nearly gate to wire, winning by 10 lengths in that one over Chasing Colton. I think that's a big win for Moplex. Is he going to end up getting money from Mentee? I think if there's a horse that does, it's going to be Moplex or it's going to be Three Echoes. Jeremiah Englehart, Irad Ortiz, Complexity of the Sire here. I think Irad is probably going to be a big draw for this horse as well. So we're going in this race. We are at the end of our nice little discussion here. So what does the formula think? What are we going with? I went off the chalk. I think Mentee is probably going to get overbet here. And coming off that record-setting race, I look at that and I see him going 5 furlongs and getting closed out by Colloquial and thinking, okay, if there's a horse out there that I like that's of his ilk, a Colloquial, if you can, I'm going to take him for that extra furlong and try to beat the chalk here. That's what I'm doing with Moplex. So my safe pick here, just looking at the top 3 horses, I like Moplex the best out of those 3. I think he's going to go in and beat Mentee. Um, yeah, it's these horses are young. Mentee going to be a great horse most likely. Um, but yeah, I think unless Pletcher really has him cranked up, we're going to see a little bit of an upset here. And I do like the value play of Studley Dee. You heard me talk up Studley Dee. You know how much I like him. This is another horse where if we get into a pace battle here, and there's a couple horses I think could be in that pace battle. Obviously, Mentee, Moplex. We talk about Wartex. If you saw his first race, he if he gets the start he wants, might get out in front as well. So if that happens, even if it's a shorter race like this, you could see Studley Dee doing some fun things there. At the very least, I think he's a very good value play here. And if I'm going to do a key, let's put Moplex in there. We got Mentee coming up next, Studley Dee, and yeah, Three Echoes, as I mentioned before, is a considerable play here from Steve Asmussen. So there we go. The 8 horses that are going to be click. They're going to be in the Sanford. That is my full field rundown. Guys, let me know what you think. Oh yeah, I gotta find my. Oh, do I not have the closeout? Of course I got the closeout. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Nice seeing everyone again. Hope the Sanford does you well. Hope Saratoga does you well, and I hope the summer does you well. Good luck.